Jerry Mallory here for SB Nation and PriveDetroit.com. The time has come. We are less than 24 hours away from the 2012 NFL Draft, and I have before you the full 7-round mock draft for your boys in Honolulu Blue and Silver, the Detroit Lions. We're going to build a little suspense. Instead of giving you the first round pick through the 7th, we're going to do it in reverse order. We're going to give you the 7th round picks and work our way up to the all-important first round draft pick. Now, the Lions have 7 picks in this draft. They had to forfeit a 6th rounder because of the tampering charges. They have rounds 1 through 5, and they have 2 7th rounders. For our first 7th round pick, or rather our last 7th round pick, the Lions will be drafting quarterback Kellen Moore from Boise State. They need a 3rd quarterback. They're not going to address this one in the early draft pick. They may get another journeyman in free agency. However, Kellen Moore, who showed tons of potential in college, they don't think he's going to translate well to the NFL. I think you look at the tape, you say this guy made some good plays. You take a chance. It's a 7th round pick. He will be your 3rd string quarterback for the Lions. Now, it's going to get a little interesting. In the 6th round, we don't have a pick, but we make a trade. We don't have that first 7th round pick anymore. We're going to make a trade. We're going to draft early in the 6th round. And with the first pick in the 6th round, the Detroit Lions will draft running back Chris Rainey from the University of Florida. We mentioned it before. They need Javid Best insurance. He's 1 concussion away from being out of the NFL. That being said, they need to bring in a guy that can do similar things. Chris Rainey has tons of speed and he can catch the ball out the backfield. 5th round pick, another needed area, wide receiver, specifically a special teams wide receiver, and 4th receiver. We look to the hometown of Lansing, East Lansing, Michigan State University, and Keyshawn Martin. Here he is, a guy that can play as your 4th string receiver and be very proficient and kick and punt returns. This might spell the end of Stephon Logan. In the 4th round, Ron Brooks, cornerback from LSU, is the man that we pick. He is a perfect slot cornerback, a nickel cornerback. Didn't get a chance to play the number 1s or the number 2s in college. Oftentimes, Tyrann Mathieu. Oftentimes, Patrick Peterson or Morris Claiborne were manning the main cornerback spots. Yet and still, he has showed by means of having athleticism and tons of speed that he would do well against the speedy nickel slot receivers. In the 3rd round, here's a player that we've looked at, we've interviewed, we've brought in, offensive tackle Zabree Sanders from Florida State University. I like his versatility. The fact that he can play left tackle, but he can also play right is big. Hopefully, he is your left tackle of the future. This is what you want out of him. He's an early pick. We know Jeff Backus isn't getting any younger. This is probably his last year of full-time starting duties, hopefully. But if Zabree is not quite fit for the task of left tackle, I think he would do quite well, very fine, as a right tackle at the NFL level. Because Goster Cherilus, who will be a free agent coming very soon, well, we can say goodbye to him. He has been inconsistent. At times he's good, at times he doesn't show up. Penalties and free agency. So we're going to need probably a left and right tackle coming up very soon. So Zabree Sanders comes in. Hopefully he's your left tackle, but if not, he will fit in quite nicely as a right tackle. In the 2nd round, we address the offensive line once again. We draft a guard from Iowa State, Kelechi Osemele. I know I'm saying that wrong. The name is pronounced wrong, but the game is played nice by this young man. Again, guard is a position that we're going to have to upgrade very soon. Not the left spot. Rob Sims has been proficient there, but in terms of your right guard, Stephen Peterman, you can look for him to get a holding penalty once a game, and he's not very gifted in terms of run blocking. This is an issue for the Detroit Lions. We brought Peterman in to be this big, nasty, tough run blocker, and he has not been effective at that spot. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. And with the 23rd pick in the NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Janoris Jenkins, cornerback from North Alabama. There's been so much talk, so much controversy around this guy. At the end of the day, Martin Mayhew and company has done their homework. They feel comfortable that from an attitude standpoint, from a character standpoint, he checks out okay. he's made revisions and he's going to stick by them. Talent-wise, he would have been picked well before this. And I know we'll get a lot of slack. We have opposing concepts on Janoris Jenkins. Polarizing figure in the Metro Detroit area. So we may get a lot of slack for saying he's going to be your first-round pick. I'll say this, though. Whether he's the pick or not, you have to trust Martin Mayhew. If he's picked up at 23rd, be confident because they checked out the character and everything works out. If he's there at 23 and he isn't picked, don't be mad. Obviously, they looked into it and they weren't comfortable with what he can bring to the table. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if our first round pick is another position, maybe defensive end, and we move back into the second round. He won't be there at our second round pick where we currently are at, but if we trade up into the beginning or middle of the second round, which we've done the last 2 years, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Janoris Jenkins there. But do you really want to risk, that pick? You're going to probably have to add another pick or maybe a pick next year on this guy. I don't know. You might be saying, well, why would you waste a first round pick on him? There's a lot to be said. I'm not completely 100% sold, but I'm pretty close to saying this. He is a very talented player. He's a guy that we need. The skill is there. The coverage skills are awesome. And I think that he's had a chance to recover, rehabilitate his character. And at North Alabama, I think he did things necessary and he's got a little bit more mature to where he's ready to play football at a high level. So, guys, what do you think? The draft is in again. Janoris Jenkins, first round. Second round, Kelechi Osemele. Third round, Zabri Sanders. Fourth round, Brooks. Keyshawn Martin in the fifth round. We trade back into the sixth round to draft Chris Rainey, and then we cap it off with Kellen Moore. Leave your thoughts if you agree or disagree with these picks, who you'd like to see, and hey guys, enjoy. We're less than 24 hours away. This is a big event for all NFL fans. I want to thank you all for watching and listening. As always, this has been Jerry Mallory for SB Nation and PrideOfDetroit.com.